Oh, hello. How's it going? Welcome to another week of No, TDSB. Yeah, because I practice that. We've got a lot to go over today and a lot of good news about our good friend Elephant Money. Bertha, what's up? All right, let's get to it. So, how's it going, guys? Welcome to the show. My name is Potter. I'm the host of the Build Show. And before we get started, we talk about FinTech on the channel. That's right, I call it FinTech now as opposed to just blockchain or crypto or DeFi. It's FinTech. And one of the reasons that it is FinTech is because of this baby. Let's go take a look. A little bit bigger. There she goes. Okay, let's not do that. Let's just go to this one then. Ta-da! So as you can see, we're almost at the ATH. What's weird is that this, let me reload you. This one on CoinGecko, where are you? It says 60. I don't know why this freaking thing is taking long. Okay. So when you look over here, it says the all-time high is at, 60. Bertha don't care, but I'm just saying, just thinking about it. Like that's a difference. But another thing that we want to take a look at on the amazing Elephant Home site is this baby. Drum roll. Oh my God. Oh my God. 100 million, over 100 million in a week. Let's get that through our heads. 100 million in a week. And nobody's even here yet, guys. I think that we might be at the right place. A lot of people will come up and say, oh, I wish I'd been so lucky. But being here, there's no luck in it. There's a lot of, fortitude. $600 million. And it hasn't even started. I mean, this is where we wanted to be with, the other platform that I was on. Still hoping for. But, this is, I like to do the day chart and then so we can take a look at the life of it. Because some people are going to be looking at this for the first freaking time, and they're going to go, what? Because this is not normal. You don't see this. What you'll see is over like the lifetime of, some securities maybe, but this is not normal. And by tomorrow's show, we're going to be over that. And what does that do? It pumps money into a trunk, and it starts to get that back to its peg. There's a lot of stuff that's going to happen. But, for those who, view and are new, my background is, so I started deving in high school, but I didn't have it as a career until, I moved to Virginia after college. I then moved into QA. I did sysadmin internationally, managed 32,000 desktops for Time Warner. And then I went into cybersecurity, and then I ended up going into consulting, where I worked for Accenture and EY as an international cybersecurity consultant. Now, thanks to Drip, which was partly Bank Teller's invention, I was able to retire, but not like I was planning on it. Like when Drip was doing its thing. I'm not going to go there. That's for tomorrow's show. So I started deving again. So now I'm deving for clients, developing applications again, So my first app this year, and somebody actually asked me to do a blockchain app just recently. So, but there's just something that's different. Like I'm going to take us on a whole different journey while we look at that beautiful chart. Have the cool kids decided to enslave like developers? So it's called the developer strike back for a reason, because as a dev, people always talk down to you, but it's you who's delivering everything that everybody does, from the monitors that are used in an emergency room to the things that keep your country safe wherever you live. There's a developer behind it. And we've been letting people just tell us what to do all the time. And they're not the better ideas, because what people see versus what you code is it's a totally different picture. People just want to say, where is it? Get it done. Blockchain or FinTech teaches you can't rush finance, but people still want it. So they cut corners to release things. And those are the people I'm talking about, are the cool kids. They've got the titles, they've got, every step up, they're over more and more people, but they don't understand the technology. So when you hear about all of these breaches, it's because people wouldn't listen to people like us. So I was a cybersecurity consultant and a dev, right? So I would go into companies and hear what they were talking about and be like, how are you protecting your clients sometimes? Not always. I've met some of the smartest people in the world consulting that a lot of shareholders should be very happy that those security people are protecting, their IP. But when you take a look at the bigger picture, while you're here looking at this stream today, for example, there's a lot of blockchain tech that's being just ignored, because the people who are representing the blockchain tech are people like me who are I'm not even going to put myself in the same space as bank teller, but we're not respected like a marketing person. I wrote an article I put on LinkedIn about how the smart people and the geeks the cool people and the geeks need to get together to figure out what we're going to do, because we literally are watching, when it comes to blockchain, a bunch of people who have no clue about blockchain legislating what you and I can do. And it's just starting to get bigger and bigger, that we can't not notice that people who think they're cool are telling us what to do. And we're just as smart as them. AI is exposing that. AI has the neural net of thousands of years of technology, literature, and we can go ask that now. So I heard a billionaire say, more than one billionaire, and go look it up. I challenge you to go look it up. Billionaire says that people need to get back to work. I heard one billionaire say, and I'm not against billionaires, I heard one billionaire say, you're hearing the complaints from our workers about they have to commute an hour and a half in, and then they have to commute an hour and a half home. And that needs to change. We need to stop that kind of talk. They should be grateful for coming in. I'm like, okay, maybe I heard that wrong. But then there was another billionaire at a summit of billionaires where he said, during the pandemic, workers started acting as if we should be happy to have them. And it's the other way around. And we need to fix that, no matter how many jobs we need to wreck. And it's like, what? And so when you see an app, whether it was what Drip was supposed to be, but specifically what Elephant is, it's to make it so that the big guys who are trying to stop people from saying, hey, you know what? I want to pay my taxes, but I don't want to deal with that currency. I want to do something else. And then go, we know better. We need you to go back to work. We need you to be away from your family, right? And this is a unique time for people to stand up. They don't say you need to be with your family. They say the opposite. they call themselves your family. But from, the lockdowns and stuff, which I can't believe on a planet that's free that you would say lockdown, but you had family come together again, even opposing all that political junk. You had people getting to know each other in their local communities. And blockchain, like Elephant, that can help get people there. It's something, it's not harming anybody. You have gambling machines out there. You have phishing. You have people who are calling elderly people and getting all of their money. You have people who are pretending to be other people. As a cybersecurity person, you see a lot more. And these are exploits that are being executed in the wild, but you're going to hunt down and try to stop crypto because you're not in it, right? And now here's the other side of that. When I got into crypto, this is the adversary that I thought we were going to see. What did people think? Rich people were just going to hand over? Like, oh, you know what? We've been rich enough. We're good. And right now, if you go to standwithcrypto.com, it's a small thing to do. But if you're watching this show, you're probably in crypto, or you're thinking about getting in crypto. And what we have right now is a group of non-technical elected people who are not doing what's right for the little guy, but they're making sure that their donors are taken care of. Donors are like shareholders, They're going to protect their donors at all costs because they want to be reelected again. They like the power or whatever the reason they want. Okay. Back to the green candles. Let's take a look at some more stats. That one that we took a look at was the best one, though. I got to give it that. Okay, so we like to look at that. I was looking at this chart this morning, and when SK pinged me, he was like, "Look, Potter, it's happening again." I was like, right? But I said, okay, if it happens, it's going to happen there, right? I should see this. But when I didn't go, but when I saw this other one happening, I said, okay, if there's one thing I've seen in trading, it's called a death cross, but sometimes it's an inverted death cross. And when you see key data metrics cross like that, something outrageous usually happens. And as you can see, we're doing it again. Wow. That's so crazy. And the community is very healthy as well. So in another community, the drip community, we had a lot of acrimony regarding people disliking people, even specifically BT, because we just had this arrogance about us because we were the only thing that was secure. Drip was the most secure thing, and we could hang our hat on that. But then when the infighting started, we all became bad investors and emotional people. And so now you're starting to see, thankfully, a lot of drip people come into EM, but I just hope that we don't bring some of the behaviors that we saw in drip, because the community is here so welcoming and so cool. Somebody did call me a bandwagoner, but I'm a boomerang, not a bandwagoner. When I got people when I would tell them about crypto, I told them about my two positions. One was drip and the other was elephant. When the exploit happened, I just lost all confidence, but I still bought back in. Right? But it just wasn't going anywhere. And I was like, you know what? I need to get to a max wallet. Stupidity happened. And so now I have 1/19th of what I had before. So these are all just crazy numbers. I mean, when do you see this? Let's go back to this one. I'm a jinx, guys, because normally that's always up to you, but whenever I've done the show, so you might want to take a look at 10 o'clock a.m. on Thursdays to be a time where you can probably get in on a deal. That's not financial advice. But this is just everything about, okay, folks, almost $400,000 of trading volume every day. You know how crazy that is? Do you know how much on the DApp, the Drip DApp? I hear it's like $5,000 right now. When I was, when I came back in and SK talked to me, it was 100,000, right? Let me see if, I don't know if I have to be logged in with a wallet, but not this one. Yeah, you do. So there's this Bitcoin dollar, and I think right now, let me look on my other screen. It's at 25.70. So we see this. I heard this one investor say, I got into Elephant Money because he saw this Bitcoin price compared to Elephant. I don't understand it completely, guys. With that being said, it was $14. Now it's $25, right? The graveyard is at 50.5%. I'll talk to SK about it a little bit more, but I don't understand when it gets to 51%. I know it dumps so that it goes back down to 50, but I'm not sure how that affects things. I just know Bertha's a lot happier. So let's see, I had some other topics I wanted to share with you guys, and I'll let you go. Where are you? Okay. Oh, whoa, I got comments. Sorry about that. Arrogance, Crypto Neptune, arrogance is the death knell. Yeah, dude, and I don't think that we perceived it as arrogance at the time. But the EM guys were sitting over there being humble, having their leader attacked, by a bunch of people who were, getting nothing but, promises. But tomorrow's show, guys, I have I think it's big. The one thing that we had with Drip was we weren't ever exploited. Right? That it was great. So tomorrow I'm going to show you something on the blockchain that proves that is no longer true. Lavelle. Oh, did I read the wrong side? Sorry, I ran them down up. What's up, West Side? He's talking to Lavelle. Good morning, everyone. Got to rewind and catch up. Don't do that, dude. Don't do that. Drip Trip African. Well played. It's the fact that I would look at the D as a lowercase d, but then that wouldn't look good next to the drip because it would be drip. Oh, and West Side. All right. So let's get back to the banners. So you know what I thought about, guys? Like, what if this whole platform becomes a meme coin platform? What I mean is, if Pepe has a platform like this, which, it's a math proof, I think that, and I don't think it's open source, but I'm pretty sure that BT would put that money back in. But this kind of supports meme coins. It changes centralized banking. And when I go back into the cool guys or the elite, not allowing the little guys to get in, one of the things that they keep talking about is inflation. And we keep going, inflation, prices are going up. But we in crypto know. And I wonder if that's what the elite don't want you in crypto for. Because once you understand crypto, you understand that inflation just means there's more dollars, right? If you put more dollars into the system and they're not burning, you don't have that trade volume, that means your dollar is going to be worth less and less. And people keep saying prices are going up. The dollar is going down, but the financial guys, they have all the charts that go on the cable news things that say, the dollar's up or down. It's not up, right? When you compare it against what? So now you have competitors to the US, unfortunately, for the first time in BRICS. And it was revealing when we found out that one of the reasons that people were joining BRICS to borrow money as opposed to us, the good guys, okay, very good people, okay, very good people. The reason that they don't want to borrow for us is because the condition is that you can't have crypto, right? So I think Lee was talking about on his stream how Chase, a centralized bank, they're like, no crypto. What? Why would you do that unless you just don't want it to happen, right? There's all kinds of conspiracy theories. I'm just going off the data that I have. And the data that I have illustrates a concerted effort to get you back to work, right? To be grateful for your boss, to not use a mechanism that's not approved by them, and to use the hand of the government, which is, let's get this right. There is no such thing as a government. There's a bunch of people who used to poop in their diapers like you, and they grew up and they got elected to places, and some of them didn't get elected, they got appointed, but they're your neighbors. They're not this group of people that you don't know, right? So a group of our neighbors have gotten together and said, well, we like our power structure and your little crypto thing's gonna wreck us, so we're gonna use everything we got to fight you. If I was the empire, I would do that too, right? What are you gonna do? Like I said, oh, you know what? We're tired of giving up all, you know what? We've had our power long enough. No, they're gonna fight you. And so that's what's happening now. So one of the biggest things that you started to see too is you started to see like Unity, Reddit, Twitter. They're limiting what you can do on their platforms to access things that Google made its life on. In 1995, I was telling people, like, Google's not going to make it. Nobody's going to allow their stuff to be used for free. But people were so caught up in SEO and getting your name at the top of an engine, and they just ignored that they were making money off of you, and you weren't getting paid for it, right? Elephant Money provides these dApps like Elephant Money have the potential to provide a lot of safety for a lot of families that don't trust centralized banking, because every crisis that we've had in America has been because of the centralized banks. Now, what I thought was CDBC was that people were going to say the Fed was going to bypass banks and say, we just want our tax money. We don't really care about the relationships. It's about the money. And so they just go straight to consumer. But the consumers are saying, we don't want you monitoring every purchase. So now the banks are back in play again to go, see, we'll just be here. We also understand from DeFi that, and I don't think they want us to understand this either, not as a collective, that what we do when we give banks our money, like for example, a friend of mine just closed on her house, hundreds of thousands of dollars. And they say the money's in, but she can't see it in her account because they're going to trade that overnight, make money off of her money, and not give her anything. So for years, going back to the worker bee thing, we have been going to work in good faith, thinking that we were valued just as much. But when we're giving our money to banks, not all of them are saying, hey, you know what? Thanks for making us rich and keeping your money so that people don't come in your house and take it from you. But they're making thousands of % on our dollars, and they're giving us nothing. And what you're seeing is kind of a pushback with writer strikes, UAW strikes. You're seeing UPS strike. It's just too much. They will not relent on greed. And that's another thing I think that we learned in DeFi, right? You just, it's like the Scarface movie, never underestimate another guy's greed, right? Because in DeFi, specifically when it came to, drip, the greed factor, people just get obsessed with it. And we see this in power with our neighbors who are elected. They pooped in their diapers at one time. Remember, they're not that official when they're sitting on the toilet, right? But they're just taking, I forgot my point, but they're just taking advantage of their positions, and they're not going to give it up. It takes, without us having a conscious, peaceful voice to say, no, you're not. And I think developers, we're leading the charge there because we're the ones who are programming, right? All the things that are helping to make them money, by far, there's road construction, there's power companies, there's heating, utilities, and then there's the devs that are building all the tools that are helping them do that. And devs are not being compensated. And because we're not being compensated, we're not in the boardrooms. Don't get me wrong, you probably don't want a dev, leading your organization, but we still should be, in the room, and we should be talking to people. We got another comment. A narrative was created for us, and we all played along. Rude awakening, but a much needed lesson. Yeah, I agree. Yeah, a much needed lesson. I think you were referring to the DAP. So this is what I want TDSP to be, right? The Developer Strike Back. I love talking about elephant money, and I'm going to continue to talk about elephant money, and we're going to look at that. Oops, sorry about that. You know what's good about this, guys? You see that right there? Oh, let me do this thing I do. 15, do it 5. Yeah, I'll do 5. Like, look how many times that's happened. You know what I mean? It just happens over and over again. Hold on. Look at this. Somebody just exited, and Bertha goes, all right, I'll be right back. I'm going to eat that up. Now, there's no doubt that when it hit the all-time high, somebody said goodbye. I'm going to get out. But Bertha's going to take care of that one. So, I'm sorry I'm watching this on stream with you guys, but let's go back to that one. All right. I will see you guys. Wait, hold on. Elephant money is the first thing I've ever invested in, and I'm 42. Wow. SJ Sharks. I think that's a good thing. I really think that the way that he built it was smart, because he built utility. He didn't stop the application. He said, okay, I see the vulnerabilities. Now I'm going to program around it. And when you work in servers and you see networks, you understand that network devices are really software devices that we call hardware because they have so many chips in them. But once you protect that perimeter and nobody can get at it, you make it almost impossible for somebody to exploit it. But he built in utility to still support it in case something else fails. There's just utility everywhere. But again, tomorrow I'm really gonna unveil for the first time the biggest, I think it's big news that we haven't seen a vulnerability on Drip, but we have one now. And I will show you that tomorrow on the show. So, thanks for hanging out. I think this is because of this. I think you're laughing because of this. Hold on. Dadgummit. Man, I didn't let you guys see it. Hold on. Let's go back. 15 minutes. Do this. See, on mine, it went back up. This hasn't refreshed, but it's already gone back up, so I'll go back to this one. And bid you adieu, my good friends. Thanks for hanging out. Wow, there's a lot of you today. Hope by that. Remember, I don't ask you to like, subscribe, or follow, but I would. Leave a comment. We like the comments. What did I just do? Oh, LOL. All right, guys, you take it easy. I love you very much. Game on.